I actually thought, what is wrong with me? Why do I just keep gathering more information, checking this in the Word, and making sure every single thing in this is the truth, and having to look at it from every single angle? And I actually was repenting before the Lord. Lord, am I keeping this from flying because I so want it to be what God wants it to be, and it, willing to give it away, and all of those different things. And I actually found myself sitting on the couch crying before the Lord, and one of my children ran in and said, "Mom, there's a praying mantis outside. I thought you might want to come out and contemplate it," because that's our relationship, right? So I thought, it. Oh my goodness. So I went out and I'm taking pictures of the praying mantis, and I'm just thinking, Lord, are you saying something in this, And then time passed, but I then thought, okay, I'm gonna do a little research on the praying mantis. And what I found was they have 30,000 lenses, and they stay still. They can stay still for hours, and they like to look at everything from all the different angles. But they're a creature that basically never misses their mark, that God brings along, what it's supposed to devour, what it's supposed to eat, and its provision. And right then the praying mantis can get the food, and it actually moves faster than the blink of a human eye, twice as fast. And I thought, Lord, it's okay. Like, I felt this affirmation from the Lord that I want you to look from all the different angles, because the truth will prove to be the truth no matter what angle you look at it from. But it's something so simple, and God was speaking through my child. I was asking the Lord in tears, and in runs my child.
Yes. The sanctified imagination that we've talked so much about, but this last year, literally after we miscarried, and I was in mourning and just so much grief, and God kept, I had snails outside my door, almost every day. I would send her pictures. It was crazy. I was like, what does this mean? Tell them what the snail means.
Well, so you sent me the picture of the snail shell, and it's because of the perfect golden spiral, and the which is the exact same mathematical proportions that are in the human eye, and in the cochlea of the ear, and in the uterus of the woman. Is it represents the God who sees, and the God who hears,
sees
and provides, which is interesting because Abraham gave God that name. He said Yahweh Yireh, and it means the God who provides, but it's the same word as sees. And I thought that doesn't make sense, because it's the God who sees to it. I see the need and I provide. God never sees in ignorance. He sees and provides for anyone ready to receive. And so it was, so I didn't even know what was going on really that much in your life at the time.
I just snails upon snails. The kids would bring a handful of snails. I'm like, what is happening? Obviously, and that's when imagine really in the season of grief and mourning. It's like the eyes of my heart were just like, God was speaking in such a sweet way. I'm like, the snail, the God that sees me.
Yes.
And what's right amazing, now, this is amazing.
Yeah, and what's amazing to me is I'll ask people in the church about this concept, and they're like, "Ooh, you don't want to get too far outside or whatever."
Yeah,
it's like
with the taboo, cannot.
But it's like, wait a second, Jesus exclusively taught through the creation. He exclusively taught in parables, and I picture him sometimes it says all that was made by the Word, right? He made all that's been made. And then he arrives. And I feel like for those 3 years in his ministry, he walked around and he said, "Let me show you what I meant by this. This is the mustard seed. It's the smallest one, but that's the seed of faith. And it becomes the largest garden plant." And then, he went through all the different things, and he spoke from the vines, and he spoke from the grapes, and he spoke about the sea, because he's teaching us what he intended in those things, because every image is to be a reflection of his character. And in Romans 1:20 is one of the key scriptures that we look at. It talks about how we are without excuse to know the character traits of God, because the Maker put them in his divine perfection in the things of creation. But because we do not acknowledge him, our minds have become dark. And so all we're required to do is pay attention to what God's saying in creation and turn and praise. And then it says we are illuminated. And so that's what this is. It's like we are restoring this basic tenet of the church.